Now hear me out, because maybe I'm the crazy one that don't understand how the world works. But when you dedicate time to wanting to speak about racism in an institution to the point where you are so delusional that you are going to accuse a child, a 9-year-old, of racism because they're a fan of a football team, don't you think in your mind you are doing a little bit too much and you're a little bit stupid? Don't answer that, because you already know, because it already happened. And the outcome we expected to happen has just now started to occur. Now, you can find articles like this and you could comb through it and you could read through it and you could celebrate and you could do everything under the sun that equates to, haha, you dumbasses, this was the outcome we expected. I'm not reading all this. All this is really going to tell me is that they're suing, the reason why they're suing, and how this has affected the family. We all know how this is going to go. And I don't know if they're suing for ownership of Deadspin. I don't know if they're suing for an apology. I don't know if they're suing for someone to get fired. I don't know if they're suing for money. Whatever they're suing for, I hope they get it, and tenfold. And there is no excuse under the sun to excuse any of it. I do, however, want to take a little look-see, because in my mind, you would think this article that spearheaded all of this shit would be taken down because this mass swell of reactions and criticism was not good for Deadspin at all. I know a lot of people like to say all publicity is good publicity, but I would like to throw a monkey wrench in that plan, because I don't want to be popular for accusing a child of racism because you looked at one picture, decided that you were going to use that to spew your narrative of hate, and you conveniently ignored every other available picture of the child that was publicly known to everybody. It wasn't behind a paywall. It wasn't behind any form of locked media. This was readily available, and this dipshit took that and tried to spin a narrative and failed hilariously. But in regard to that article, which I believe might have a new title now from the last time this got updated, the article in question has a update of some kind and still has this same editor's note, but if you comb through it, still references this child who came around in a headdress and how offensive it was. And I don't know if it's still here, but do you remember when they found some tribe that I think was affiliated with this same family, and how they wanted to say how, oh, well, we found a group of people that said they weren't okay with it, but if you comb through it, you find out that, hey, we're not cool with it, but you can do whatever you want. So essentially, you can do it, we can be offended, but we can't police you. The hilarity in people who want to try so hard to find something to be mad at, and they try and they get at the center field, they try to wait for the ball, they swing and they think they got a home run, and they done struck out 3 times because they are that damn dumb. And it's impossible how people could be so conveniently egotistical that they want to go the route of thinking, hey, you know what I want to do today? Accuse a 9-year-old of racism. That's the fucking craziest part. You sat there, crafted an article off of a screenshot you took and thought, yeah, this is going to get a lot of people to understand that Roger Goodell and the NFL, oh, they're nothing but race. Oh, they do nothing but hate against the black people. Did you know about what they were doing to Colin Kaepernick when he took a knee? Not to mention how Colin Kaepernick fucking sucks and has openly chastised the NFL, comparing them to the slave trade, and is still trying to get back into the NFL because everybody loves a good domination kink. It's crazy that this level of depravity goes on to the point where this fool did another article, and honestly, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I just want to go all the way to the bottom because one specific part interests me the most. And I quote, the NFL likes to make things harder for itself. It's why the press conference was filled with questions about gambling and sports betting when the league was once staunchly against it until laws changed and the money started rolling in. Side note, this is about journalists coming in and not enough black journalists and not enough black workers in the NFL, blah, 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 blah. As Las Vegas was given a Super Bowl. And on Monday, for the 3rd year in a row, Goodell looked like an incompetent fool on the stage. It doesn't have to keep being this way. But as long as Goodell and the NFL continue to keep running from accountability, black journalists will keep exposing them for the whole world to see. Now, I am someone who thinks if you're qualified for the job, I believe maybe you can get that job. Yes, there will be competition. Yes, there will be people cheating the system, maybe because they know somebody who knows somebody. But I do believe you have the right to try your best to get said job. Do I think people should be handed jobs? No, because that creates a problem nobody wants to admit. But when you want to sit there and be one of the spearheads to say black journalists are gonna fight back, you better make sure your record's pretty squeaky clean. I know some people get a little bit of dirt on them from time to time, but relatively, some people could keep a little bit of credibility in them, just a little bit. But when you're somebody who paints a child out as a racist and coincidentally after all this time is still too bitch made to face the music while you are being sued by said family, maybe we should leave it to the white people. I don't know. I'm not really a fondness for the white savior, but maybe they'll be able to tackle racism better than you when you're spending your time looking at children and saying, look here, you little bastard, you found a way to make fun of black people and Indians. Shame on you.
It's crazy, G. That is wild. And you know, I like we were talking about this before. I feel like the parent had to be like, let's roll the kid out and see what happens. You know, maybe if he can get away with it, I could try it next. They're not gonna jump a fucking child, are they?
You're saying his dad is soft launching the blackface?
Right.
My whole shit is, why was there blackface on, a Native American? That's
Why
what
not?
I was wondering.
If you're gonna throw the headdress on, fuck it.
And no, here's what I'm thinking, because it should have been red face, right? Like, if we're gonna be racist, we got to be accurately racist. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this: like, if you're going out to buy some shit, to darken your face, why did you not buy the red shit instead of the black shit? Did you just have some blackface material hanging around your crib because you were like so deeply rooted into the racism shit? Like, is this something that you get a lot of usage out of in your crib, some blackface material? That's what I was confused about. Because if you're going to be racist, like, you need to buy the red face shit, but why did you just not buy the red face shit? And did you have some blackface shit hanging around the crib? That's what I'm wondering.
I feel like it's my job to bring y'all at least a daily dose of fuckery. So here you go. As you can see, a typical Kansas City Chiefs fan. A little kid, dressed up real cool for the football game in support of his team. You would think that nobody would give a shit, that everybody would be happy for the kid and let him enjoy the game. No. What they decided to do is call this blackface and native headdress and try to spin it as offensive and cultural appropriation. And it's all over Twitter right now. What part of this is blackface? The right part or the left part? He's wearing the team colors, for fuck's sake. I hope that kid's parents gets a lawyer and sues the fuck out of all the news outlets that are covering this shit, that are labeling this kid as a racist. They're literally trying to ruin this little ass kid's life over him supporting the Kansas City Chiefs. They're giving more fucks about this than the Taylor Swift shit. If the Kansas City Chiefs have any decency, they need to honor this fucking kid at the next game. In fact, he needs like season tickets for the rest of his life. Because this is the type of soft ass shit that needs to stop. You can't be out here saying everything is racist. You know, the only people that got mad about this was the blackface. No native said anything about this. They don't give a fuck. That's how you know that it's fuckery.
And if there is a lesson to be learned here from any and everybody, it's quite simple. If you are upset at the world to the point where you're looking at children and getting offended at children, and you're thinking, you know what I'm gonna do? Make an article about a fucking child being a racist because I'm too insecure in my own skin? That's your fucking problem, and I hope you heal and I hope you deal with it. I hope this lawsuit goes the way of the family, because nobody can craft an argument that makes sense to say, it's not fair for you all to be suing a corporation for this. It's not fair for a corporation to hire somebody who's going to accuse a child of racism. So silence your mouths, shut it the fuck up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.